Yesterday, we saw how Krishna, the Master, addresses avoidance that hides behind the language of peace, how refusing to act when the duty is clear quietly erodes integrity. Today, in verses 34 to 36, Krishna continues his line of reasoning, but now he adds another dimension. He shows that the cost of avoidance is not only internal. What we avoid today does not simply disappear tomorrow. It leaves an echo in how we relate to ourselves over time. So let us look at these verses carefully. Before we proceed, let us invoke the right guidance and jump into the invocation prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Vasudeva Sutam Devam, Kamsa Chanuramardanam, Devaki Paramanandam, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Let us chant from 34th verse onwards. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtihi maranadatirichyate bhayadranadu paratam mamsyante tvam maharathaha yesham chatvam bahumataha Bhutva yasyasi laghavam avachya vadamscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastava samarthyam tato dukkataram nukim hato va prapsyasi swargam Jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayah sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papamavapsyasi Esha te bhita sankhye buddhiryoge tvimam shrono buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bhayat Vyavasayatmika buddhihi Ekeha kuru nandana Bahushakahyanantascha Buddhayo vyavasayinam Yamimam pushpitam vacham Pravadanti vipaschitaha Vedavadaratav partha nanyadastiti vadinaha. Krishna, the Master, now points to something Arjuna has not fully considered. When one's duty is avoided, the consequence does not remain private. Others may notice, and speak, but the deeper consequence is internal. Krishna calls this akirti, loss of standing. In the 34th sloka, akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtihi maranadatirichyate. Maranat atirichyate. It is much more painful than death. So this is not just about social image in a superficial sense. The real issue is what happens inside a person who knows what is required of them and yet still chooses to step away from the action. That choice fractures their inner sense of alignment. So Krishna, the master, contrasts two kinds of pain. One, the pain of acting and failing is sharp, but it fades with time. Second, the pain of avoidance is quieter, but it repeats itself. Each time the memory returns of choosing comfort over responsibility. That is why Krishna says this pain is heavier than defeat itself. Avoidance. The avoidance of duty may protect comfort in the moment, but it weakens dignity in a way that is not easily repaired. This is not a judgment. It's an observation. This is the weight Krishna is pointing to. For example, consider something very ordinary. An aging parent needs consistent care. It is inconvenient. It interrupts the plans. It creates fatigue. If someone avoids that responsibility, not because it is impossible, but because it is uncomfortable, life may look easier on the surface. But months later, the discomfort returns, not as a physical strain, but as a quiet, persistent unease. Something inside knows, I stepped away when I was needed by my aging parents. This quiet awareness carries more weight over time than the effort the responsibility would have required at that moment. Practical application. The long memory test. Krishna's guidance can be applied very simply. When faced with a difficult responsibility, don't ask first what feels easier. Ask instead, will this decision allow me to remain at ease with myself over the point of time? This shifts attention from short-term discomfort to long-term inner alignment. Next, notice the fear that is operating. Is it fear of effort, something that will pass? Or is it the unease of knowing you avoided what was required of you? These two fears feel similar in the moment, but they leave very different traces over time. Krishna's guidance is firm. Choose the action that allows you to remain steady with yourself over the time, even after the time passes. External criticism fades over time, but loss of self-respect lingers within. So in these verses, Krishna is not threatening Arjuna. Even in the 35 and 36, Bhayadrana mamsyam te tvam maharataha yesham chatvam bahumataha bhutva yasya silagavam. He is making consequences visible. Duty ignored does not vanish. It returns as inner discomfort and creates disturbance over and over. So, preserving integrity is not about winning or losing outcomes. It is about being able to stand by oneself over time. So, we'll continue with the next verses in the following session. Before we close, the Gita leaves with a simple reminder. Svādhyāya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Let's not neglect self-study and careful reflection. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thanks for listening.